Hello, family and friends. It's Miss Christine, and guess what? I am not in my usual yoga studio today. I've been relocated up to my music studio where my pianos are because there is some remodeling things going on down there. And so the person doing that remodeling, my husband, said I had to come up here and do my video. Here I am. I hope the lighting's okay. I hope you can hear me okay. You don't have any yoga music, but oh well, you can't have everything. Kitties are not up here with me, but Blue Camel and India, the elephant, will help me with this presentation. And this presentation is going to be on the standing forward fold plus the monkey, which is half of a standing forward fold. And I'm going to talk to you about some modifications you can use, some tips on how to do it, benefits, variations, contraindications. We'll just talk about it for a little bit. I have a lot to say. The first thing we're going to talk about is modifications. And that is when you need to modify it because you have low back issues, you are stiff, inflexible because maybe you're new at yoga or you haven't done it for a while. Maybe you just feel unstable standing. And so here's some modifications. First modification is you can perform a standing forward fold against a wall. Just make sure that your hips stay connected to the wall as you go down to the forward fold. The wall will not let you fall. The wall will be like a spotter for you. You can also perform this sitting in a chair, the forward fold in a chair. You will notice that you can't go all the way down to a forward fold because you're sitting and your legs are in the sitting position, but you can get your chest onto your thighs. And that will help you with stiffness and stability. Also is good if you have like low back problems going on. When you do use a chair, you can use the legs of the chair and grab onto the legs of the chair, or you can take blocks and put blocks on the floor and hold on to the blocks because your hands might not go down all the way. So those are two methods. You can also turn the chair around and you can do the forward fold and go down halfway and put your forehead on the chair seat using a bolster. That's another prop, another way to use that prop. We usually sit on the bolster, but in this case, we can put our forehead on the bolster. If you can perform this standing up, but you can't get your hands all the way down to the floor, you can place your hands on your thighs. That will be perfectly fine. Now, I just mentioned the bolster for your forehead. And you can use that, put your forehead on the bolster that is on the chair, and you only go down halfway. Or you can use these blocks. Let me grab a block for you. I didn't bring one over, but let me see. Hold on. Here we go. I want to show you. Sorry, I should have had this over there. I want to show you. You can use this block in a different way. You can use it up this way with your hands on it, or this way with your hands on it, or this way with your hands on it. You can also pile blocks on top of each other. The only thing is if you put more than one block, make sure that they are seated properly so they don't slip off. But this way, if you need a lot of height, a little less height, and even less height. Great way to use blocks. Some people use a yoga strap and they step on a yoga strap to pull themselves down into the forward fold. Just make sure you're bending from your waist and not your shoulders. That brings us up to talking about tips. You want to avoid, when you go down into a forward fold, slouching. You want to keep proper alignment, head over heart over pelvis. So you bend from your waist and you keep your shoulders down and back. You don't use your shoulders to go down. Avoid that curving the back. You also want to make sure that you have a lot of patience. If you're just starting out or you haven't been doing exercising for a long time, it's going to take you time and practice to go deeper into a forward fold. Make sure that you give yourself that time. Also, make sure that your knees are soft. You don't want to stand, you don't want to bend them too much, but you don't want them stiff and standing. You want your knees to be soft. If you're having trouble with stability standing, make sure your feet are a little wider apart than what is recommended to do this pose. Usually we like your feet close together, but if you're unstable, bring those feet apart. A wider base is a more stable base. As you get better, you can bring your feet closer together. As you get better, you won't need blocks on the floor for your hands. As you practice, you will get better. Now let's talk about some checkpoints. You want your hands and your hips to line up with your heels. That's one thing you want. You want your feet together, like I just said, but separate them if you need more stability. You want your quads, your legs engaged. You want your knees to be micro-bended or just soft. You want your core, your abdomen to be engaged. You want your spine to be elongated, and to elongate your spine, remember, keep those shoulders down and back and maintain a neutral spine. Again, head over heart over pelvis. That will help you elongate your spine. Keep your neck loose, released. And those are the things that you can check off and make sure you're performing this pose properly. Precautions. Don't perform this or any other exercise on a full stomach. This one in particular, because you're bending, may really back up your food, especially if you have acid reflux. You want to have a fairly empty gut to go into a forward fold. Do not overstretch. Stretch to the point where you feel it, but not to the point of pain. When you do a swan dive into a forward fold, make sure you bring your arms down. Don't keep your arms over your head. Bend from your waist, not your shoulders, and don't flex your spine. Those are precautions and common misalignments that you need to pay attention to. Now, there are a few variations I want to mention. I'm not going to go into them a whole lot because I didn't demonstrate them, but these are common variations that you may run into class. Number one is the monkey, which is in this video, and it is the one where we come halfway down or we come halfway up. That is monkey, and you want to make sure that you keep your back flat and your shoulders back and down. You don't want to come up and do a monkey like that. You want to have that flat, nice flat back. Have a tea party on your back. Excuse me. There's one variation called the ragdoll. When you get down into forward fold, bend your elbows, hold on to your elbows, and place your head, cradle your head in your arms, and just swing back and forth very, very easily. And you'll feel like a rag doll. You can also take your hands, put them behind your neck, and bring your elbows forward and go into forward fold. Another one is you can bring your arms around to the back, interlace your fingers, and when you get down to forward fold, try to bring your arms to face the ceiling. It is pretty challenging, but you will really get a nice stretch in your chest. The most advanced forward fold that I'm going to talk about is called the revolving forward fold. Take your right hand and grab your left heel. Take your left hand, grab your right heel, and then look under your left arm. Look under the arm that is on top. Then switch sides. That is a very, very advanced form of forward fold. But once you get really good at a forward fold, it is really well worth trying it. Benefits. This is a great stretcher of everything below the waist, all your leg muscles. It also strengthens your leg muscles as well as your back and your abdomen, and if you can believe it, your feet and your arms. But let's talk a little bit quickly about some more specific benefits. This is a great exercise to increase, great pose to increase your circulation. When you increase your circulation, it feeds your nervous system. When you feed your nervous system, especially your parasympathetic nervous system, you release stress, anxiety, all those nasty emotions that get built up. It's really great in balancing your mind. Also, besides strengthening and stretching your lower body, it also increases your circulation, and that increases your metabolism. When you increase your metabolism, you might burn a little bit of that belly fat that we all like to get rid of. It also aids in your digestion, and it helps to improve the function of deep organs like your kidneys and your liver. Another benefit of this increased circulation is it boosts your immune system, and we're all into boosting that immune system today with all the nasty stuff going around like COVID, and now the flu is supposed to come and really hit us hard. So be aware that boosting up that immune system is really important today. It also helps your endocrine system. What's the endocrine system? It's that system that releases all those hormones, which are really important in your reproductive organs. So whatever stage you're in, reproductive wise, if you're trying to conceive, have a baby, if you're in menopause, whichever season of life you are experiencing, the release of hormones will help that season along, and you will benefit from it. The contraindications are, there aren't too many, but one that is kind of important is if you have migraines and you're having an episode of migraines, it's really good not to do this pose because you're putting your head below your heart, and that might increase the pain that you have with your migraine. So lay off putting your head down low during a migraine. If you're pregnant or menstruating, only do the half forward fold, which is the monkey. Don't go down all the way. If you have high blood pressure, again, I've always mentioned this almost in every single pose. High blood pressure is something you need to speak with your caregiver about. Back injury and sciatica are also issues that may be difficult to get through. But if you're very, very careful, it can also help back and sciatica issues. So perform them like only do the monkey, and as the back issue gets better, go a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. Now, one thing I have heard about, and this is because I have this issue, is osteoporosis. If you have osteoporosis, it's really good to talk to your caregiver, because I've heard that bending your spine, if you have a lot of brittleness in that spinal area, in your spinal column, you could get a stress fracture from forward folds, anything involving going down like that with your back. So be very cautious and aware of that. Okay, now I want to tell you, if you have something you want to try, but you don't try it, you will never succeed at it. Try what you want to try, and you will have a better success rate. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Namaste, my friends. Thanks a lot.